Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Philadelphia Eagles Now. Let's jump into our latest Eagles news and rumors, taking a quick look back at the Eagles' loss last night to the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, as we're going to see, a lot of good came from that first preseason game. The Eagles look pretty darn good, albeit it's preseason, but I'm hyped. You guys should be as well. The news starts, though, with the update on Miles Sanders. You're probably wondering, okay, wait, that's Jordan Howard who started the game last night with the number ones for Philadelphia, and you never saw Boston Scott, or excuse me, you saw Boston Scott. You never saw Miles Sanders, even though Sanders was suited up. He was wearing pads, and he didn't really have any sort of injuries going into this game, which turns out after the game we found out he was a healthy scratch and might not play the entire preseason. Like, there is a chance that Miles Sanders might miss the entire preseason playing, not in training camp. He's a full go in training camp. He is not hurt. He's ready to rock, but it is interesting that they would hold him out of there, presumably to load manage a little bit and probably to try and keep him healthy, because that's been a big problem for Miles Sanders throughout his entire career, is playing in all now 17 games going into the 2021 season. The entire Eagle running back rotation to me was a little strange. We have the snap count list here for you guys last night. Kenny Gainwell got the most carries, naturally, because he is, of course, a rookie, but it was Jordan Howard who started the game. To me, very strange that Howard would start the game. I know he's comfortable in Philadelphia. Remember a couple years ago, he obviously was a Philadelphia Eagle, but it was interesting to see him out with the ones. Didn't do much running the football, but did have a really nice block that sprung what could have been a third down conversion. Great throw by Jalen Hurts, a drop by Zach Ertz. What are you going to do? Scott came in there a little bit later. He had 5 snaps. Kerryon Johnson had 8 snaps, had a massive hole on a read option to the right that he could have really exploded, but slipped. Again, Huntley didn't do much. He's just kind of out there doing his thing. And then, of course, Kenny Gainwell, 19 carries. Showed a couple of bursts of speed. Like, it was interesting in terms of what he was doing. I like what he, how he looks out there. But this was more about the fact that Sanders didn't play and the rest of the guys did. Now, let me say this. I think the Eagles are hiding their run plan. And this is not the first person to say this. Other beat writers in Philadelphia have mentioned this morning as well. I think Philadelphia is trying to mask what they are going to do running the football. Hence why you didn't see a lot of runs, especially when Jalen Hurts was out there. They kind of spread them out, very vanilla through the football, and that was it. I think they have a big plan for Miles Sanders. He's a massive part of this offense. He will be a big part of this offense, but they're going to try to keep it as vanilla as possible. That way, week 1, whenever they go ahead and travel down to Atlanta, take on the Atlanta Falcons, they will have a fresh offense that Atlanta hasn't really seen a lot of tape on, because that's the beauty of Nick Sirianni. Whenever you're playing against Nick Sirianni this year, until you get a couple of games underneath your belt in terms of tape, you're not really going to know what Nick Sirianni has to offer. You can go back to some Colts games, but he wasn't always calling the plays in the Colts games. It was Frank Reich doing that sort of thing. So you don't really know what Philadelphia is going to have up their sleeve, and I think that's the plan right now for the next couple of preseason games, is to keep the running game and the rest of the offense very vanilla, as you saw last night, and not reveal anything crazy until it is actually a meaningful football game. Again, Sanders healthy. No need to worry about this. He doesn't have some secret lingering injury. They wanted to hold him out strictly for load management. They want to make sure he's going to be healthy for week 1 and healthy through the rest of the year, because, again, they think that Miles Sanders is going to be a massive part of this run game. I think he will too. I'm pumped about it. The real question is, who's going to be the number 2 guy behind him? Is it going to be Jordan Howard? Is he going to make the roster? Is it Gainwell? Is it Johnson? Is it Boston Scott? Who really knows? So I'm going to go ahead and definitely keep an eye on. Okay, who gets the game ball against the Pittsburgh Steelers? What do you think? Probably the guy we're going to talk about in just a couple of minutes. That's Quez Watkins, but there are plenty of options. Give me your game ball pick right now against the Steelers down below in the comments section. All right, if we're going to keep going, you can keep betting on the Eagles all year long, whether it's the preseason, regular season, or hopefully the postseason with our friends at BetUS. Just go to chatsports.com/EaglesBet. Use that promo code EAGLES125 for 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. Use the promo code EAGLES125, and then you can go ahead and turn your $100 into $225. So put $100 down, go to our link, use the promo code EAGLES125, and then you get $225 to bet on whatever game you want, whether it's a game, whether it's NFC East odds, whether it's championship odds, whether it's game by game, or spread. I mean, there's a ton of betting options over there. Be sure to go ahead and check them out. Again, chatsports.com/EaglesBet. That promo code you need is going to go ahead and be Eagles125. I bet on Philadelphia to win the division this year. My thoughts, but again, take with that as you will. I think the Eagles have a real good chance of winning this division. All right, we mentioned game ball, and I think that the game ball probably goes to Quez Watkins. Now, he shined big time against the Steelers, and people are raving about him today, and naturally, they should be, but this is something we've talked about over the past couple of weeks. Like, if you're a fan of this channel, you watch us here, well, we talked about Quez Watkins. He's had a very good training camp, and you guys know that because we brought it up, because that was kind of the buzz that was sneaking out of the NovaCare complex over the past couple of weeks. I think this has guaranteed his roster spot. I think he was always going to have a roster spot. He didn't need the screen pass for 79 yards last night to solidify that, but he's going to be a threat this year and a legit target, and that means that our Whiteside and Hightower and some of these other younger receivers, or not younger, but these other lesser receivers, are going to have to battle for one less roster spot because Watkins is definitely going to go ahead and make the roster. Here was Jalen Hurts last night when asked about Quez Watkins at the podium. Quote, "One thing I was thinking about walking up here to the press conference, he's not a secret anymore. That's not the first time I've seen him take one of those screens. He's like 2 for 2 on those screens in his career. I think he's a great player. He knows what I think of him. He'll be a really good player for us," end quote. Now, the one issue I have with Quez Watkins last night is that he had a chance to have a 99-yard touchdown. Like that deep ball from Hurts when they were backed up in their own end zone on the second series should have been a touchdown. Like he beat his man and just, I don't know if he misjudged where it was or didn't run underneath it enough, but Watkins was open. That could have been 2 catches for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. That would have been a crazy preseason stat line, but it's very clear he's a vertical threat. It's very clear that he used him in the screen game. It's very clear he is, I mean, really, he looks pretty darn good. He looked very Deshaun Jackson-like, and I know we don't want to overhype this because it's very early and it's preseason, but this is what we've been hearing about his play style so far through the first couple of games, or really the first couple of training camp games overall. In terms of catches last night, Reagor looked good, had a great deep out where he had a great move to swim past the receiver, catch the ball, good throw by Joe Flacco. Reagor looks a lot better, obviously, than he did last season. Andre Patton had 1 catch. Whiteside had 1 target, and that was it. Like, he was playing into the fourth quarter. I don't think Whiteside's making this roster, and based on what we saw last night, he did not do much. Greg Ward also, 0 catches. He was out there a lot. I mean, he played a decent amount of those snaps. I wonder if Greg Ward is the result of, Watkins getting better, and obviously Devontae Smith being added, and Reagor playing a lot better, and also Travis Fulgham played some snaps last night and didn't really have a ball thrown towards him. We're expecting Fulgham to be a starting receiver. I know it's still early. We don't want to overreact here, but Fulgham didn't do much. And so I do wonder if what's going to happen is you're going to see Devontae Smith as the 1, Reagor as the 2, Quez Watkins as the 3, and then it'll be a battle between Greg Ward and Travis Fulgham and the rest of the Eagle wide receivers to see who's going to go ahead and be number 4. It's still early. Don't freak out if you're saying, Thomas, well, obviously Fulgham didn't get enough chance. Well, okay, stop. It's still early, but I do think that Watkins has a really good chance to be pretty darn good this year, and I think he might be a better receiver on this roster than a lot of people originally thought. You fill in the blank. What do you guys think? Quez Watkins is the blank best receiver on the Eagles. Is he the 3rd best receiver? He's not the 1st. I wouldn't say he's the 2nd. Is he the 3rd best receiver? Is he the 4th best receiver? 5th best receiver? Let me know where you would put Quez Watkins. He is the blank best receiver on the Eagles down below right now in the comment section. Okay, other notes from game 1. This one's great. The starting offensive line looked fantastic, and Brandon Brooks played last night. That's huge to see him out there. Only he played a series. That's all he needed, and then they brought in, I believe it was Opeta who came in. Was it Opeta? I can't remember who came in, because they kept the starters out there for 2 series, minus Brandon Brooks. Either way, Mailata looked great. The blitz pickup by Jordan Howard. I mean, you go through that film, and it's brief, but it was a much cleaner pocket than Carson Wentz had all last year. Pumped to see that starting offensive line. It looked really, really good last night. Jernard Avery started at linebacker last night, opposite of Alex Singleton and Eric Wilson. It was weird that TJ Edwards played into the second quarter and a little bit of the third quarter, I think. TJ Edwards played a lot with the 2s, and that was interesting because I'm not sure Avery would be a starting pick for a lot of Eagle fans, and he didn't play a lot either. It's not like he was in there and then stayed in there. It was a lot of Alex Singleton, after, of course, Singleton started, and then a lot of Sean Bradley and some Davion Taylor, and then, like we said, some TJ Edwards. So curious about the thought process there with Avery being a starter. Maybe he's played well in preseason or in training camp. Haven't seen a lot there overall. We mentioned Hurts. He looked really comfortable. More on that in just a couple of minutes here. He looks really comfortable and really good. Flacco looked good. I mean, the Nick Foles comparisons are out there. Don't buy into the idea that that Flacco is competing for a starting job, but he is a very, very good backup to have on this roster, and I think that he is going to really be a great mentor for young Jalen Hurts, as that's kind of Flacco's job right now in Philadelphia. Finally, the starting defensive line, they're all grown men, but Javon Hargrave had a great bull rush against the left guard in Pittsburgh. I mean, he is going to have a massive season. He wasn't great early on in his career in Philadelphia last year, but really came into his own, and he's good. He's a really, really good player, and this D-line is going to eat, and we should just expect it to be a top 5 D-line in the NFL. Quickly on Hurts here, again, Hurts looked good. 3 for 7 was the stat line, but really it should have been, 6 for 7? He had the Ertz drop, he had a Reagor drop on the outside, and I would argue that Quez Watkins deep ball should have been caught. I mean, it was a pretty good throw, and then, of course, he had to throw out of bounds on the rollout, which he should have not taken the hit on that, but still, I think Hurts looked really, really good. Slide, maybe, like that run to the left-hand side. I mean, obviously, he's going to need to do that during the NFL season because that's part of his skill set, but I'm out on this idea that Hurts is going to need to be diving for first downs. Just slide. Take it from Michael Vick, who learned the hard way. Slide as the starting quarterback, please, we beg you. But Hurts had a good start. I'm excited to see what he does. And more series probably coming up in the New England game. All right, ultimate for today here on our Philadelphia Eagles. Now, video again. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Plenty of more stuff coming up, including our mailbag on Sunday. So stay tuned for that one. But for your channel, for the channel, your favorite Eagle channel, I should say, I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off. Have a great weekend. The rest of your day.